because you guys all know that I do these now for conscious business and giving business tips and personal branding tips and marketing yourself on social media. And because you all know that it's solstice and we had a new moon and we had an eclipse. And so the energy is just super intense. And so I wanted to go a little extra woo-woo today and just go straight into cards. So if you guys don't know, what's up, Cosmic Questions? Hi, loves. So if you guys don't know about my Spanda cards, I know it's backwards. These are all for the spiritual entrepreneur. So we are going straight into just cards. So yes, I will totally do questions. I'm all like comfied out in my hoodie. I've got client calls the whole rest of the day. So I'm going to jam on some cards with you guys, give you some amazing just perspectives on for you and your business during this week. And then I'm going to go slay the rest of my day. So what's up, loves? Give some hearts if you can hear me and you can see me okay. And we're on YouTube as well. So if you guys do have questions for sure, because this is always a Q&A also, I will definitely, answer those. Yes, girl. Thank you, beautiful. Yes, Oracle cards. Why? Because, okay, we want that one. I love the ones that just jump out. Because I had a whole thing planned that was like, all right, let's talk about believing in yourself and let's talk about fears that might come up when you're wanting to create something new for yourself and bring it out into the world. And then I was like, oh, what just feels really good without trying to plan anything too much? What just like feels like it would really be in flow? And I'm like, why don't we just do the cards? That's what felt really, really good. So give some hearts if you love that. Let me check in with you, babes. Cool. And if you're new, I am Sarah Delane, the Conscious Life Stylist. I help you in your personal and professional development. That's a quick way to say it. And I love nerding out on cards. So Tuesdays, we do conscious love and relationships. Mondays, we do, those are jumpers. That's what we call jumpers. Hang on. We got two of them. Mondays, we do conscious business and personal branding on Instagram and social media. So if you guys ever have more questions, feel free to DM me. I'm always here. Merritt, you're the best too, babe. Thank you. Appreciate that. So, oh, this one. Hang on. What I love about geeking out on cards, especially when you can kind of like apply them to your business, is it's like we know that strengthening our intuition, following our intuition. Wow, that totally went out. Hang on, YouTube. Hi, guys. We're doing cards, but my Instagram just went out. Like totally went out. Hang on. Give us a sec. You guys like, how can you see up my face? Okay. Because I have the camera behind. You guys. Oops. Hang on. All right. Are we getting it? Are we getting it? We're here again. We'll see. You guys, it literally just cut out. Look what happens when you start bringing in some serious energy on cards and start talking about, is intuition like a censored word now? Because I literally was like, follow your intuition, check in with your intuition. And then it literally just wipes out. Okay, so give some hearts if you guys can see me and hear me. We don't know what's going to happen with the internet. We never know what's going to happen with the internet, okay? But I get a do-over. So cool, you guys got hearts. Awesome. See, we just start streaming in some higher consciousness when it comes to like aligning that with your business and being an entrepreneur, and Instagram just can't handle it. So we're going to totally do cards, all cards today. If you got questions, write them in. I will absolutely answer those. But I really just wanted to like be with the flow of aligning with the intuition and then having the cards sort of reaffirm that. And that's one of the things why I love doing cards so much, because we tap into our intuition, we align with the highest version of ourselves. And then when you kind of like throw cards down, especially when they're like specifically around like being an entrepreneur, a conscious influencer, and specifically around business, it just helps like affirm that. It's like that extra like, yes, okay, thank you. I felt that first in my intuition, and this is now confirming it. So that's why I love geeking out on this stuff. Unbelievably, you were writing about intuition, insight in your third eye and your heart on another friend. Okay, awesome. Love that. Love that. So give some hearts, and also feel free, because this is all about just conscious business, being a conscious influencer. Those of you who really want to make an impact in the world, those of you who are helping people, want to help people on a next level with that, give some hearts if that is you. Feel free also to put in who you are, what you do. I love being able to share this space. I do personal development and teach you guys, those self-mastery skills, and then teaching you the success skills for building an online business. But I also want to be able to use platforms like this to highlight you guys, everything out, healers, other coaches, fitness instructor, all of you guys that are also up to making a big impact in the world. Please type in who you are and what you do. One, so I can see you and connect with you. And two, use this opportunity to be like, hey, this is who I am and this is what I do. Because you never know, somebody might see that and be like, oh, I need that. Oh, you do Reiki? You do remote Reiki? Cool. Oh my gosh, we're dealing with so much stress right now. I could really use that. So I want to be able to see you, and I want you to be able to feature yourselves. Feature yourselves. That's a big part of why I created my Business Accelerator program, because yes, it helps build your online business and helps build, brand, and market your online business. And it also, I'm going to create inside of Soul Circle Collective a featured page for everybody who goes through that and their services. Rachel Love, oh my God, girl. I feel like we need to connect because it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Okay. So I'm going to do just cards, like I said. If you guys don't know, these are called Spanda. It literally says for the spiritual entrepreneur. So we're also streaming on YouTube. What's up, Danielle? I've helped you so much already. Oh, awesome. You have a restaurant in Barrie? Where's Barrie? Where's that, babe? You're a developing spiritualist, but started monetizing it. I love that. Isan, something I can't pronounce. Oh, but haven't started monetizing it. Okay, let's get on it. Let's get on it. Yes, girl. Cool. We've already done sessions. I don't know if I remember. I don't recognize your handle, babe. Are you different on Instagram? I really do my best to all of you guys connect with each one of you. Okay, so here's what we're going to jam out on, because it's solstice and new moon and eclipse, and we're in so much transition and so much expansion and so much major badass change. And I love that. I love that. There's also some weird things going on at the same time. So we're all working through it, and we're all working through it together. And so the more that I can help people who want to create an impact in the world and create more healing and love in the world, that makes my soul happy. Yes, lightning bolts. Cosmic questions. Hey, girl, I know you. You're going to be featured on Soul Circle Collective. So intuitive writer, artist, and healer. Want to help people find freedom. Ooh, love that, girl. Have you been doing your niche work that we talked about, and through your poetry? Amazing poetry artist over there. Okay, so we're going to do cards. So if you are on here, I mean, you can use this for, if you don't have a business or an online business, or if you really just want to use this time to tap into something that might pertain to your higher purpose. I am a believer that we all have a purpose on this planet. We all have a deeper purpose than, let's say, if you have that sort of whatever day job that is for you, there's always creating that balance of that thing that feels really fulfilling for you. So if your day job isn't fully fulfilling for you, then it's creating that balance, right? So aligning with your deeper purpose, aligning with something that would create that fulfillment and being able to help and support others, perhaps. So you can use this opportunity to listen for that with these cards. But this really is mainly for the entrepreneurs, for the healers, for the coaches, for the service providers, for all of that is really wanting to create an impact in the world. And this is specifically for business related topics. So that's what these cards are targeted for. So apply the, whatever you're kind of thinking, or apply these cards specifically to whatever's going on in your business. Hi, Michelle, COVID-19 frontline nurse. Hey, girl, let's give us some hearts and shout out to Michelle for that. Thanks, girl. Really support to you. Taking vital signs, awesome. Standing in 132-degree heat, need to vibrate higher. Okay, love that. Love that. All right, so let's give some hearts for Michelle. Leco_. There we go. Awesome. Cool. All right. So for this week, we are literally just going to do for this week. How many are cool? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on point. All right. So we'll do today. We'll just do every day of this week because there's 7. So this is for today. So you guys can go back, make sure to save this video so you can go back over the week and apply each one of these cards per day so you can kind of be keeping on track as well. So Monday, let's go. 3 aspects of creativity. I remember when we got this one. Okay, so this one is using the Hindu gods. Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the sustainer, and Shiva, the destroyer. So it's very interesting right now, just given everything that's happening in the world, what we're needing to destroy and unravel, the untruths, the false truths, in order to get more in alignment with the true aspects, whether that's history, whether that is what we're really wanting to align with, the highest version of ourselves, the highest integrity of our truth and who we want to be in the world and what kind of relationships we want to be able to have, because this goes into your relationship with your business and your business relationships. So being able to apply today, how are you going to apply Brahma, the creator? So what else needs to be created in your business right now? What energy, what creative energy have you been too analytical and you need to get into in the masculine? You need to get more in the feminine, which is the creator. Do you need to like take a minute and like recharge, get into that sort of receiving energy so you can have more of a creative perspective? Vishnu is the sustainer. So it's the one that keeps the momentum. So has motivation or momentum or sort of that, are you burning yourself out too much so that you're going and then you're not, and then you're having to like crash and burn for like 3 days? Or are you really setting up a good balance between those energies so that you can sustain things moving forward? This could also relate to sustaining growth in the business. Sometimes in business, we hit a plateau. Sometimes we hit, and that usually just means if we're hitting a plateau, it means that we're being redirected towards something, or it means we need to get to that next level. So how are you sustaining the momentum, sustaining the growth in whatever that business is? Shiva is the destroyer. This, I will go back to saying, we always think like it could have negative connotations, right? The destroyer. And yet, whenever we need to move forward with things in order to create a new system that works, in order to align stronger with a better, let's call it better foundation, we need to unravel. We need to deconstruct something. We need to pull it apart a little bit so that then we can like look at what isn't working. And then we can go back to the Brahma, the creator energy, and put it back together again in a stronger way, in a better way, in a more higher integrity way. So what in your business for today, or your purpose, whatever you're working on today, how can you apply this? And feel free to write in the comments too. I'd love to hear what you guys are getting for this. So getting into that creator energy, what is stopping you from that creator energy potentially? The sustainer energy, Vishnu, are you burning out too much? Are you really creating that pattern to sustain continual growth, to sustain just a nice flow, a continued flow, right? And continued growth, as opposed to sometimes we can go up and down, right? Which the entrepreneur is very much like, oh, everything's great. No, it's not so great. Oh, okay, I think we're good. Nope, we're not fucking good. It can be up and down. So the more that we can create a foundation of that sustaining energy and sustaining growth, then we won't have so much of that up and down. Good. Perfect timing for this. Cool. And then, yes, finally, again, the destroyer. What needs to be unraveled? What needs to be deconstructed so that it can be reconstructed in a more powerful, higher, integral way? Great. Your purpose. You've been leaving behind and shedding the old. Beautiful. That's perfect. That's literally the destroyer energy. What isn't working? Right? What do you need to get rid of? It could be limiting beliefs, right? This was another, I was like, okay, do we really talk about, because a lot of what's been coming up in my client sessions, what I've just been feeling in the collective also is that really believing in yourself and what there's a difference between being afraid to take action and afraid to move forward. And there's a difference between that fear and then the believing in yourself. So there's a huge gap, let's say, between, I shouldn't say it like that. There's a difference, right? You can either be afraid of something or you cannot believe in yourself. So what belief systems either aren't working that are keeping you from believing in yourself? What blocks, what protection programs, what younger ego / inner child version of you wants to stay the same that then is potentially making it harder for you to move into that next higher version of you? Destroying old patterns. There we go. Okay. That don't serve your higher person or higher purpose. There you go. Mo.Nika 1510. Okay. Awesome. Yes, Rachel, deconstructing all night. Lots of tears. Oh, love that and feel that. So much catharsis. Okay, good. Awesome. And that can be a good thing. Like the more that we can embrace whatever emotions those are, knowing that it's a release and a deconstructing, knowing that whenever there's a breakdown, it means you're literally setting yourself up for the breakthrough. It means you're literally going to propel yourself into that higher level. If you can go through the shadow, the sticky, the underworld of that, then you'll get to that next level. So if you can go through the destroyer, you will get higher, you will get more connected to the creator energy. That's kind of a key way of saying that. Cool. Give some hearts if that's resonating. Yes, yes, totally trusting your inner spirit. Exactly. Awesome. And that's all these cards are too, right? It's like, this is where when we tap in and when we get reconnected with the highest version of ourselves, which is connected in our heart, we know our intuition. We know that. And sometimes it's a little bit fun to just get like a little extra validation from some cards, right? Because that's just fun. It's like, oh, we all look for those signs. Like, spirit, universe, can you please give me a sign? Yes, here it is. Cool. So love the destroyer. Perfect timing. Exactly. And I love that came up for today, because especially in this pivotal, right, the solstice, we're in that shifting point, eclipse, new moon, right? Great time to set those intentions. And we're in a beautiful time right now where we are literally deconstructing so much non-truth, so much false, so much inaccurate, so much not in alignment with truest integrity. There is a lot of manipulation and false stories and false narratives that we got to be able to destroy in order to then and look at it, be okay with the uncomfortability of the destroyer energy, because it don't feel good. It just doesn't, right? No energy that is in a destruction, it feels chaotic. But then doesn't creativity also sometimes feel chaotic? So they're kind of very similar energies. And when we can just be okay with the deconstruction of all of the falseness and be in that and stay in that and hold the fucking line with that, with love, not bypassing, but just with love, and anchor that in without getting into all these different emotions with it, then we can say, okay, cool. What is the future that we do want? How do we reconstruct now so that it's in higher alignment? How do we reconstruct now so that it's in better truth and honor and respect? Because things have been sort of messed up, right? We've been washing over things. We've been creating a story and a narrative that's not true. And it's inaccurate. And we need to deconstruct that in order to align more. And the more that we have that, the more that we're going to align with that truth within. The more we align with the truth within, the more that we will be able to create that truth outside of, right? And that goes for everything. Stand in the fire and let it burn. Yes, metaphorically. And so there's a lot of discomfort right now. But we're being asked to stay with that so that we can co-create together the truth that we want. But we have to discover, here's a little side note, because this goes for business, this goes for all relationships, and this goes for collective right now, because they're all one and the same, pretty much. The more that we can look for truth, the more that you can be a truth seeker. There's a lot of storylines. There's a lot of narratives right now. The more that you can go to the source, the actual truth. And I'm speaking very generally right now. And yet it goes back to ancestors. It goes back to original history. If we can go back to then and rewrite the history, because history hasn't been, we've been writing a history that's not correct. We've been writing a history to fit a certain storyline, and it hasn't been in full integrity. And I'm gonna do a separate video talking more on that, so I won't dive into that so much right now. Keep it on business. And all of it together, the more that we can be in the space of deconstructing, so that then we can say, okay, what is the truth? What is the source? What is the core? And then go back to that seed. And instead of all of the other BS that was created, right, we got to go back to that seed and then almost like redo history in a way that is the truth. And we get to, it's like starting again. And we're in an eclipse right now to start again. We're in a new moon to start again. So the energy is so perfect for that. So just stay with the uncomfortability, because it's in a deconstruction, it's in a breakdown, so that then we can break through and to create what we want. Okay, I will leave it on that. We're in a new history, her story. That's awesome. Her and his. Unity, her and his, and all genders, and all right. We're in a, we gotta come together more. We've been in this, we gotta deconstruct separatism. We've got to deconstruct isolation conversations. We've got to deconstruct you're different than me. We've got to deconstruct that. And we got to come back to heart and connection and honor and respect, giving credit where it's due, right? Yes, our story, her story, his story, all of it. Unity story, one story. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Your purpose will assist in healing and empowerment. Okay, let's get it. Let's get it. How do you discern between the difference between fear of the ego versus forcing and pushing forward a path we think is for our highest good? Great question. But seems like we're bumping against so much resistance. Who is that? Hey, Sitterding. Hey, love. Hi, baby. Okay, one, I want you to DM me that question so that I can read it more specifically too, because I want to talk to you about that, because this can go hand in hand. Whenever we, I'm going to answer this super quick, and then I want to make sure that I get to all the cards Tuesday. So whenever we say there's resistance, it's resistance within a part of ourselves. So if there is, so how do we know the difference between fear and ego? One, if it is fear, chances are it's ego, because I would have you shift that conversation to ask yourself, this goes for everybody, because who gives some hearts if you've ever had the question of like, is this fear? Is this ego? Or is this like me moving forward on that path? Is like just that uncertainty with all of it. Like, what do I do? It's shifting that conversation to what is the ego? And you guys, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I say the ego is the inner child. And so that inner child that wants to stay safe, that wants to feel like connected to a storyline that keeps it here, that keeps it in this bubble. It doesn't want to move into the next thing, because just like a little child, it's like, oh my God, like, I don't know, guys. Like, what's going to happen if we do that? I don't know. Mom, you know, it's like that little kid energy. And sometimes when a little child is really afraid, sometimes it turns a little bit angry. Sometimes it turns a little bit more aggressive because it's like, no, right? And it turns into a tantrum. It's like, no, I don't want to, right? And this is all the emotion of that inner child. So if that creates resistance, then it's a resistance between that version of you versus your highest potential, the highest version of you, or the version of you that you would need to step into that would be, I'm going to use the word archetype because I work a lot with the archetypes and stepping into and creating those archetypes, which are you, part of your consciousness, but that version of you that you would need to be for the life that you want, for the business that you want, for the relationships that you want, right? For just the overall, like who you would need to be for clients, right? That version of you versus the ego little child, because we're not going to make it bad and wrong. We're just going to say, this is the inner child that doesn't feel like it wants to move forward. And then this is the version of you that you would need to be in order to have all of those things. The resistance is between those two. So this goes for everybody, including you. Ask less, how do you know? Ask more, what am I making choices from this little child? Am I listening to thoughts of the inner child? Am I feeling the emotions of the inner child / ego? Or am I listening, choosing, taking action, thinking and believing more from the perspective of the highest potential version of you, the version of you that you would need to be? And the more that you can kind of get a distinguishing feeling between those two, that's when all you have to do is say, okay, am I choosing from this place or am I choosing from this place? It can get a little bit more specific, obviously, related to the different things that have happened to you, the different storylines that you've gone through. And we all have these protection programs. So I would need to know a little bit more specifically, but that's a general that kind of can associate to everybody. Give some hearts if that relates. Okay. Yes. Okay. Totally great. Feel that. Okay, cool. DM me though, babe, because I want to know, like if you can give me a little bit more specifics in the DM, I'd be happy to go a little bit more in depth. All right, guys, Tuesday. This is Tuesday. We're doing all cards today so that you can track with your intuition this week for your business, or your purpose, or aligning your purpose to create an online business, either way. Okay, the genius paradox. Oh, let's go. Okay. So if you're just joining on, if you're a coach, if you're a service provider, whatever, I thought just for this special, like I always do a little bit of cards. I just thought because we're in such an amazing transitionary time right now, we're going to do cards, one for every single day of the week. Okay. Nope. That was Monday. This is Tuesday. So genius, this is tomorrow or wherever you are. If you're in Australia, it would be Wednesday for you. So wherever you are in the world, we just did today. This is now tomorrow. And I'm going to put this up into my IGTV. Okay. So you'll be able to go back and watch this all week. So be sure to save it too. So then you can be tracking with yourself for the week. Okay. The genius paradox. These brilliant innovators. Give some hearts if you feel like an innovator. Give some hearts if you want to make massive impact in the world to help people. These brilliant innovators make their own laws. Beware of their flaws. Okay. That doesn't mean for others to be aware. It means they are the genius paradox. We are always, I'm going to say this as a we are aware of our flaws. We are aware that nobody is perfect. You are not perfect. You know, you're not perfect, but you know, you're brilliant. They are here to change the world. I know it's backwards. They're here to change the world. So you're here to change the world. So Tuesday, tomorrow, or wherever you are in the world. I don't know why this feels so fun right now. My heart is very happy. My inner child's very happy right now. Are you guys loving this? Yes, we're loving this deck. Okay, cool. This is my favorite one for like whenever I get stuck a little bit, like in just business or right, because we're not perfect. I do trust and listen to my intuition. And then sometimes it's like, all right, let's just throw a couple cards so that spirit can speak through at the highest level. Okay, so the genius paradox. These brilliant innovators make their own laws. Beware of their flaws. They're here to change the world. So what are you innovating this week? How are you wanting to innovate? What are you wanting to innovate this week? What new thing are you bringing in to your business? What new alignment? What have you sat with yourself have you sat with the higher version of yourself? Have you connected to the highest source consciousness to say, okay, what am I here to do? What does the world need now? What can I create, birth through me? What birthing purpose? What else needs to happen right now? Where do we need to go? What innovation? Bewaring of our flaws, that nobody is perfect. We are going to mess up. Everybody's going to mess up. It's never going to be perfect. If you're not messing up, here's another one. If you're not fucking it up at some point, okay? I know, because I have an internal fear of oh my God, I'm going to fuck it up. I'm going to do something wrong. Okay. And that goes back to old programming. I still got to check myself on that. It goes back to old programming. I used to live with my grandmother. She used to tell me everything was wrong. I was wrong. Nothing was perfect. Right. So I was always going to do something wrong. So I literally have this little whisper that's oh my God, what if you fuck it up? And I got to check that. And I also know that if you're not messing something up, if you're not doing something and then trip on it, then you're not doing anything. Then you're not moving forward. You're not it means you're stagnant. So don't be afraid, or rather get into your heart and know that something's not going to be perfect. I'm an expert on having the conversation with yourself to get out of the perfectionist mindset. I know, because it was drilled since I was 13 into my brain. Be perfect, better be perfect. You got to know your flaws. You got to know that you're going to have flaws. You got to know that everybody's going to have flaws. And if you're not doing something that then is going to create a flaw or mess it up or whatever, then you're not doing anything, in which case you're not putting yourself in a position to succeed. My mother used to say something to me. She was like, what if failure, what if the perception, let's say the perception, because we all have a different perception of what we think we're going to fail at or is a failure or whatever. So what if the perception of failure was really like gold rings, right? I got tons of rings on it. These never come off. What if they were like gold rings? How many rings would you like to have? What if they were like diamond rings? What if they were like Herkimer diamond rings? How many Herkimer diamond rings would you like to have? Because there's a richness. It still gives you something back again. So you can flash your gold rings of failure and be like, this is how many times I tripped up. And look at how many times I then succeeded because of it. Right? Rachel, but you are perfect, Sarah. Oh, girl. Love you, and far from it, baby. Far from it. But I adore you. And so are you. And yet at the same time, none of us are. We can't possibly be. There's a perfectness in being imperfect. Okay. So is this resonating for you guys? This is technically for Tuesday or Wednesday if you're on the other side of the world. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. So to read this card again, it's the Genius Paradox. This is Tuesday in US time. So wherever you are in the world, these brilliant innovators make their own laws. What laws are you making for yourself? What values are you making for yourself that you want to live by? Beware of their flaws. You know your faults. You know you're never going to be perfect. And there's gold in that. They are here to change the world. Give some hearts if you feel like you're here to make a massive impact and being part of the change, being the change in this world, because we're in it. Who wants to be on the front lines of doing that and doing it from a place of love and integrity and passion and healing and unity and all of that fun, juicy stuff? There's those hearts. Okay, cool. Love that. Okay, Wednesday. And hopefully my battery will last. Okay. Wednesday. Team spirit. Team spirit. Collaboration doesn't mean oh God. Okay, guys. Let's read this one slowly. Collaboration doesn't mean everyone has to agree. Collaboration doesn't mean everyone has to agree. Differences of opinion can spike opportunity and more creative outcomes. Can we please get a massive stream of hearts on that one? Because there is a lot of disagreement going on in the world on what we think is, what some people think is right, what others think is right? And then there's shame happening. And I just want to quickly point out that if there is ever any shaming going on, it stems from internal shame. I just got to be real on that. Any shaming to another person comes from an internal shame that person has, right? And then we take it on because we all have internal shame also. So there's this collective shaming, and it doesn't make anybody want to come out and speak their truth because somebody's going to be like, no, you're wrong. No, you're da-da-da, right? That's bullying. That's abuse. That's verbal abuse. There's a lot, let's just call it what it is. There's a lot of verbal abuse happening online collectively right now. And if we can move out of that, we can get back to center and realize that in order to collaborate, we don't have to agree. That then in those differences, can we see different points of view, different perspectives? Can it allow us to open up and see a different view of somebody else? Where when we can do that, it can spike an opportunity for more creative outcomes. But if we're caught in the, nope, I'm right, nope, I'm right, and the right-wrong game, and the villain-victim, that's the oldest story in the world. Villainizing, and then one person feels like victimized and back and forth. Oldest story of human behavior in the world. Can we get over it now? Can we move out of that dynamic and move more into collaboration of saying, hey, I don't agree with you. How can I see a different perspective and have an open conversation for that? And letting the other person say, wow, I don't necessarily agree with you either. Can you give me a different perspective? Can we hear different perspectives of each other to then allow for greater connection, greater collaboration, and sparking new opportunities of outcomes? Because the change that we're all saying that we want to be and that we want to have in the world is not going to come from separation. It's going to come from collaboration. That's the only way. So where in your business and how you're showing up with yourself and how you're showing up with the people around you in the world is a direct reflection of how you show up in being an entrepreneur. It's 100%. There's no separation between those two at all. So where is this collaboration? Where is this disagreement? Oh, here's another quantum one. Is there a level? Are you disagreeing with yourself? Oh, I just went a little quantum there for a second. Is there a disagreement that your higher self is having with your lower self, the ego self is having? That's the resistance right there. Is there a disagreement? I see this way. Well, no, I see this way. Let's do this. No, I don't want to do that. Is there a disagreement that you're having internally? Can you reflect on difference of opinions internally? So then you could have a greater opportunity for creativity within yourself. And when that happens within first, because we all know that every relationship happens within first, romantic, business, anything, then the ripple goes out to other people. So where is there disagreements happening? In maybe like a business partnership? Is there disagreements happening are you like, do you own your business or are you an employee? Like, where is the disagreement happening? And can you be the initiator of saying, can we sit down and have a neutral brainstorming conversation to be able to hear and see both perspectives for the purpose of spiking an opportunity for more creative outcomes? So how can you apply that into your business? How can you apply that into being an entrepreneur this week? If that relates to you, or if you want to write that in, feel free to put in the comments. And you guys can type in questions as well. Okay, cool. So that was Wednesday, US time. Thursday. Let's go. Let's go. I might have to get my battery. We'll see. Discerning eye. These are good today. I like these. What did I say this was? Stay on track, Sarah. 1, 2, 3. Wednesday. This is Thursday. Thursday, US time. Discerning eye. Grasp the obscure, read between the lines, perceive the abstract, get to the heart of the matter. Oh, I like that. What are you guys hearing for this, for either your purpose or applying this to a business or a business relationship? Grasp the obscure, read between the lines, perceive the abstract, get to the heart of the matter. I feel like this one goes really well with the collaboration aspect, right? Because not everything is what it seems. So I'm kind of getting that with the like grasp the obscure, right? And give some hearts if you guys can still hear me too, because it just gave me like a little notice that the internet is being weird. So grasp the obscure. It's elusive. It's like sometimes we like, not everything is what it seems. Not everything is black and white. We've got multiple colors everywhere. Okay. So grasp the obscure, grasp the in between. It's like reading between the lines. That goes hand in hand with the you're right, I'm right, and you're right, I'm wrong. Like all of this, it's not one or the other. We have to go in between the lines. What is not being heard or seen in between the lines? What is the truth? That's what I like, the getting to the heart of the matter. That's the truth, like how I was talking about before. We got to get back to the core. So what is missing in whatever you're doing within your business, however you're behaving, however it's showing up, in like, how are you showing up in your business that you're not reading between the lines, you're not seeing between the lines. You're trying to look at something like it's either this or it's this, and you're not getting back to like the core, back to the source, right? This always, like when we're really wanting to create inner transformation, we always have to go back to the core. But when we go back to the core and we understand what those protection programs are, we still need those patterns, we still need those practices, those tools to put into place to shift what we became aware of. So you can grasp the obscure. You need to be able to read in between the lines. You need to bring awareness to the heart of the matter. What is the, and this is the discerning eye again too. So it's like, don't just take everything at face value. Don't just take everything that you're seeing. Hang on, give some hearts if you guys can see. Okay, yeah, because my battery's dying. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up here real quick. Okay, so getting to the heart of the matter, basically, right? Give some hearts if you guys can see me and hear me, okay. So moving that into however that's going to apply to your business for Thursday. Friday. We're going to move through these quick because my battery's dying. Okay. Getting to the finish line. Okay. What's up, Mr. True Love Within? Awesome. Getting to the finish line. Are you losing enthusiasm for the project that you're working on? Okay, this is interesting. If your will is for the highest good, providence intercedes. This, I'm going to say, getting to your why. What is the why that you're doing? Either the purpose that you have that you're building, you as an entrepreneur, helping create, helping others, creating an impact in the world. Why? What is your deepest why? Why are you doing this? Right? Getting you to the finish line, like losing enthusiasm, losing that momentum is like you're not in touch with the why you're doing it. Or it could be that there could be a shift in the people that you want to work with, right? Why do you want to work with these people versus these people, right? So you could be shifting target markets. Could be. But where is the enthusiasm that you're losing for a project that you're working on? And if it's for the highest good, then providence proceeds. So the highest good, that's the why. That's your highest version of you. That is why you're doing what you're doing. So give some hearts and say like yes, or put in the comments like, are you guys in touch with the why you're wanting to do this? That's one of the biggest foundational things in any entrepreneur. If you're not in touch with your why, then you could hit any speed bump and it'd be like, oh, no, I don't know. That goes for any relationship because we hit speed bumps all the time. Romantic relationship, you hit speed bumps. If you don't know why you want to be in a relationship, you'll let the first thing that happens be like, oh my God, and so scared, and then freak out and leave. Same thing happens in business. If you don't know your why that is fueling your passion and your enthusiasm and the highest good of what you're doing and why you're doing it, speed bump happens. You'd be like, oh no, okay, let me back out. So you've got to get in touch with your why and the bigger vision of why you're doing what you're doing, what it is that you want to do and why you're doing it. There are days that you lose it. Of course, there's going to be days that you lose it. And then perfect example, getting back in touch with that why or creating a new why. I have honestly, as an entrepreneur, I had to shift whys. There is this point, and I don't know a lot of entrepreneurs and coaches that talk about this. And so give some hearts if you guys relate to this. Like I started with one why, and then as I continued growing and shifting who I was helping, my why shifted. So you do hit a plateau where your why can shift. So that might be for you. If you're losing enthusiasm, then either get in touch with your original why, or you might be at that apex point to create a new one that then will fuel you towards to keep going, right? Which goes back to sustainer. That keeps the sustainability happening, okay? Saturday. We're going to do this before my battery dies. Best way to be authentic, better than to live short authentic than fake long term. That's some truth right there. I would rather be imperfect and authentic than like faking it and be manipulative. And how many times does that happen in relationships? And then all of a sudden somebody's mask drops off and you're like, oh, which goes back to the discerning eye. You have to know that in business as well. You have to know who's authentic and who's not. There's a lot of people out there that like have the guru status that aren't authentic. It's just true. It's just true. So you have to feel it within you. You have to get to your heart and be like, does that resonate? Like, does that feel correct? And you're the only one who's going to know that. Ooh, leaving the nest. Get uncomfortable. This is Saturday in the US time zone. So wherever you are in the world, leaving the nest, get uncomfortable, let go of restraints, don't look back, stretch your wings and fly with the winds of change. I love that. That's awesome. So Saturday, if you've been doing all of this, if you can like use this all week, so save this video and go back to it and rewatch this all week and use these cards every single week and use this for like a progression into your business and working through whatever. And DM me if you have questions. By Saturday, whatever that uncomfortability is, that means that you're ready to like come out of the cocoon. That means that you're ready for your wings. It means that you're ready to fly. It means that whatever it is that you've been doing this whole week to like work through and discern and, you know, collaborate and work through all that internal stuff, now let go of the restraints. Like step into that next version of you. Listen for what might still be holding you back. Listen for what you need in that moment, because there's going to be a question on Saturday. You're going to be like, okay, I want to be able to do this. I want to fly. What am I missing? Or ask yourself, what would give me the wings? If I feel like I don't have the wings, what would give me the wings? Do I have a good strategy for my marketing plan? Do I have a good personal brand set up that then people are going to know who I am to make that impact in the world? Do I have my body of work and the tangible ways that I'm going to be helping somebody? Do I have these things in place? What's going to help me fly? Ask yourself the what questions. And if you have those questions, then DM me. On Saturday, I want to see my inbox happening. So if you're like, okay, I'm uncomfortable, I want to be able to do this, but like, or maybe you don't know what's missing. Maybe you get to that point and you're like, I want to get to that next level, but I don't know what's missing. You might need to be able to like pull some things apart, and so you can get more clarity on that. Cool. So that's Saturday in the US, Sunday for you if you're in Australia or on the other side of the world. Sunday US, discipline. Whew. A gallant act, a sacrifice of benefits, a conscious commitment to a noble course of action. This is make a plan. I have a rule: if it's not in my calendar, it doesn't happen. I schedule out everything, even my self-care. It's discipline. One of the reasons why things don't move forward is because we don't have proper discipline. It's not time. It's not all of these other excuses that we make it. It's because we didn't prioritize a certain level of discipline. And sometimes people don't like that word because it's like, oh, discipline, that feels so like adult and intense. And it's like, well, you're either choosing from the inner child of you, right, that doesn't want discipline and wants to just go run and play and be free. Or there's the version of you that you need to be for the things that you want to be able to do, the people that you want to be able to help, the impact that you want to be able to have. This version of you needs discipline because it's not going to happen without it. That's just the truth. And so when you're choosing and creating strategy and action plan from this version of you versus the inner child that just wants to run and play, this version of you up here needs discipline. Sacrifice with benefits. I like that. It's like, what do you have to give up, but then in order to get other benefits? So you're giving up something, but you might be giving up maybe too much fun and play that inner child wants to be able to have, but you get the benefits of the fulfillment of making that impact and helping people all over the world. Yes? Wow, yes. Cool. It's a conscious commitment. It's, are you in alignment to consciously choosing the purpose that you have in this world? And it's a noble course of action. Like, that's your humble, like, that's your why. Are you in touch with the why you want to be able to do that? Okay, before my battery dies, that is this whole week. I love you guys so much. I'm Sarah Delane, the Conscious Lifestylist. You know me. Tuesdays, we do conscious love and relationships. This is Mondays. It's all about conscious business and creating your personal brand for social media. I wanted to do today just cards, just to give you like the full week. So this will be, if you're watching this replay in my IGTV, hit save. Share with a friend too if you feel inspired. I'm always so grateful when you guys do. Comment if you want to the experiences that you've been having with this, but definitely save this video so that you can go back to it, because we did one card for the day of the week. So see how you can maybe make that like a week challenge. Like, see if you can stay in alignment with these cards and just apply that to your business, creating your purpose into the world, being that healer, being that coach, being that badass conscious entrepreneur that wants to create that impact in the world. Apply these cards to every day of the week. So save the video. You guys know how to do that. Click the little save button on the side, and DM me if you have any questions. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, for your questions on conscious love and relationships. I love you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye, babes. Oh, let me turn it off.